stop, but how you go and why you want to go comes up, okay? And so for all the years you've asked questions, especially about Germany, today we're blessed to have a team join us to answer all the questions. As a matter of fact, I have questions for them, but I mentioned earlier on Twitter that you also get the opportunity to send the questions in. You can do that via WhatsApp as well, 020-2222-073. Before I introduce my first person, I'm going to have to combine English and German, not because I'm going to speak German, but in mentioning her surname. So we're blessed with the presence of the Deputy German Ambassador to Ghana, Sivine Jansen. Okay, so that's German, but if you want to say it in English, it's Sivine Jansen. Okay, she's the Deputy German Ambassador. I'm also joined by the head Delegation of German Industry and Commerce here in Ghana, AHK, Dr. Michael Blank, and my personal person, yes, who knows music? She knows her Ghana music very well. Head of German Academic Exchange Services, DAAD Regional Office, Lena, Leumer. I got that right? I'm close. Okay. I got it. She's also with us this morning. Guys, we're discussing migration pathways to Germany. And so your questions are welcome. But of course, I'd like to start off by saying good morning to the team and welcome to YFM. Who's going to start it off for us? Sivine, welcome. Good morning to YFM.
Guten Morgen. Wow, now I lost my German well.
Yeah.
Guten Morgen or good morning.
Yeah.
We are really happy to be here.
Perfect.
Team Germany, so to say.
Lovely.
And we have a lot of Ghanaians who are interested to go to Germany. There are different possibilities, of course, how that is possible. And today, as we are on a bit of we have a young audience. I think what is most interesting to those listening in today is study opportunities. At universities, and also for practical training and employment in
as well.
Technical vocational educational training sector. So this is why I have my two friends here with me today, representing some of the German institutions that are relevant. But we also have a number of others that would support, for example, the Goethe Institute or the German International School. And we can go a little bit deeper into that later.
Yes.
But as for now, we are happy to be here today and answer all kinds of questions when it comes to migration pathways to Germany.
Great. I was going to go to Doctor, but let me stay with you. You've brought my attention to something very, very important. I mean, migrating to Germany is a topic we want to discuss today, but while we're still here in Ghana, okay, the German language, say someone wants to study German, okay, what are the opportunities available? What opportunities does the embassy facilitate in helping people study German here in Ghana?
A lot of them, actually. So technically not the embassy, but German government, but technicalities. You can go to Goethe Institute to study, but that is here in Accra. There are many other language institutes that offer that. You have in Accra, Kumasi and Tamale, the Ghana Language Institutes where German is offered. We have a number of German schools, partner schools. We have TVET institutions where you can study German throughout the country, and everything will be presented also with German learners at the German International School in Accra this Saturday.
Perfect.
So 18th October in the afternoon, starting at 3 p.m. on the Ring Road. There's the German school, and we will have all institutions and German learners present to show where German is taught, and we will even have a little speed learning class. So you don't speed date, but you speed learn.
Sharp. That's fast. I may want to join that. Learning fast to learn a few words like good morning, how you respond, the basics. So just pick that information. We'll go over it one more time. But to the main thing we're here for this morning, okay? When it comes to the duties of, the German embassy, of course, as part of the broader government, what are some of the things, or let's say primarily, what's the role of the German embassy in Ghana when it comes to facilitating migration to Germany?
Yeah, first and foremost, we are the entity that combines all of the different actors, so also AHK and DAAD, but also the Ghanaian European Migration Center that used to be German. They also help with consulting when it comes to migration questions, and also the Goethe Institute when it comes to learning German and the German International School. So all of these actors, we try to bring all of them on board. So we have the Team Germany approach. And then most crucial, of course, is the German embassy is, at the end of the day, that entity that issues the visas. So if you want to go to Germany, you have to go through our visa and consular section to apply for the visa, and this is where we come in.
I have to commend you guys. Your services are swift. I think in the past I had to, and it's very, very accessible. I believe that's one of the main reasons why sessions like this are important. I mean, when you wake up and you think about Germany, there's a whole process to go through, and basically that's what Sivine is saying. The embassy is the one that facilitates it, so that's the powerhouse. You don't go through anybody else if you want to. It's the ultimate place you need to come to. They're accessible by email, the phone lines work, very, very responsive. Once you reach out to them, they'll definitely reach out back to you. Now, you mentioned these different partners that you are involved with in ensuring that migration pathways are made possible for people who are in Ghana and beyond. That's people who actually have to travel down to come travel as well. But how specifically do you collaborate with these partners to facilitate migration pathways? I mean, what are the various roles the roles they play? Before I bring them in from you, what do they do to combine powers to ensure the main purpose is served?
So, for example, when you look at AHK, the Chamber of Commerce, they are mainly here to be the prime partner for any German businesses coming to Ghana, but also far beyond. Also, any businesses having business relations between Germany and Ghana, offering counseling services. But when it comes to migration, very essential part by AHK is when it comes to TVET scholars. So people can start the TVET education here in Ghana and then conclude that education in Germany. So AHK is one of the central actors to facilitate this process. Also because in Germany, spilling some beans here, we have a huge shortage of labor staff, and Ghana, as we all know, has a very young population. So I think here we have a very promising gap that we can bridge with young people from Ghana also taking over available jobs in Germany, and that is where we look at TVET and AHK. And then when we look a bit more to DAAD, this is the academic
the study
education.
Wing,
Exactly, so AHK a bit more the practical work, DAAD the academic work, so they are mainly responsible for scholarships and the university partnerships. Actually, we have over 60 university partnerships between Germany and Ghana. And we have 6 German-Ghanaian science institutes, so our academic and scientific cooperation is very vast and very close, and this is where you look at DAAD.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to speak to Lena in a bit and speak to Dr. Blank also, but still with Sivine. I'm sure people are thinking, why are you asking Sivine all the questions? I'm going to get to, the 2 other partners in a bit, but to the main conversation today. You mentioned that the German embassy is the sole facilitator when it comes to traveling to Germany. But I want to find out specifically, what are the key steps in general visa application processes? If I'm listening to the show now and I want to travel to Germany, before we break down the various purposes for which I may want to go to Germany, let's say through the AHK, through business or through education, what are the general procedures involved when it comes to visa application for Germany?
First and foremost, go to our website. All of the information is on our website for the different visa categories. So we have Schengen visas, that's for stays up to 3 months, and we have national visas, that's for stays beyond that. Usually the national visas are for family reunification, so when we have any type of families between Germany and Ghana to make it possible that these families can join. Schengen visas, the 3-month visas is for anybody who intends to go to Germany, let it be for business, leisure, education, or tourism, you name it. And for this, you need an appointment to present your visa application. I know that we have a very strong challenge when it comes to availability of appointments.
Tight,
I know. Literally, everybody is booking away these appointments, all kinds of different agencies or even AI bots. So this is very hard for us, but every day we clear out fake appointments and we make available new appointments every single day. So I can really just recommend check the website regularly, take care of your visa application early, and there are appointments available. They do come on a daily basis.
Perfect.
And last but not least, go through the checklist and make sure that all of the appointments are there. All of your documents are complete and available and correctly filled out, because it is very hard for us with the huge number of visa applicants that we have to take in an applicant and then say, oh, don't have everything here today, just come back tomorrow,
yeah.
and then we keep this file on the desk, and if this multiplies, then it's just not manageable for us. So we really tried to make it seamless and quick,
easy.
and then it is an in and out for your application, and ideally then
I know some countries you just go submit your documents. How is it like for Germany? Do you have to do an in-person interview? How does it work?
Yeah, so you fill out the form, the VDEX form online first, and then for your application, for your visa appointment that you have to do in person, you come with that filled out form and all other documents that are needed, and also please your passport.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that would help.
Wait, do people ever show up without their passports?
Everything happens at the visa section.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yes.
And so you bring it in person and then you're interviewed. How does it work? Are you told instantly that you have the visa when you go through it? If you qualify, how does it work?
You will not be told instantly because they take the documents, they do the interview, and then they process it. Also because another person has to look over the visa application, and then within 2 weeks' time, the visa and passport will be ready for pickup.
Perfect. That sounds seamless. Now, on to the challenges you mentioned. I think you mentioned the fact that appointment backlogs are huge and you guys are trying to clear it out day in, day out. You just cited an example where people may show up without their passport, but generally as an embassy, what are some of the common challenges in your experience applicants face, and how are these things being addressed beyond the two that you mentioned?
So what definitely happens sometimes is that people forget to have health insurance during the stay they have in Germany, or that people don't bring a bank statement, or the bank statement of just 1 month, for example. So again, just print out the checklist that we have online and make a tick behind every single requirement to make sure that everything is brought to the visa appointment, and then everything should go actually seamlessly. And then, of course, make sure that the bookings that you have, for example, the hotel and the flight kind of corresponds to your travel plans, because sometimes those are very different.
You said you're traveling on Friday, but your hotel starts on Wednesday.
For example,
like
exactly
that.
that. Yes.
Perfect.
So ideally, just be truthful. Like really, there's no need to tell some kind of impressive story. Just state exactly what you want to do and make sure that all of the documents for that are in place, and then nothing should go wrong.
Are there some very common misconceptions in your experience you've heard? I mean, we're obviously outside, things you've heard that you may want to correct about the German embassy and visas? If there's any.
I mean, one of the things that we get mostly, of course, is that people think you have to pay for an appointment, or you have to pay extra services for a visa. So again, the German embassy is the only entity that issues the visas, and appointments are free. Only there's a fee for the visa. So any information that is going around that says something different, cross-check that against the information that is available on our website.
And the website is?
Just put in Google German Embassy
It's
Accra.
going to come in.
Will be the
Sure.
first one.
We'll definitely put that out. I'm going to hold on to my last question for you in a bit, and of course, bring Dr. Blank in. Doc, so Sivine mentioned that you are part of the partners. I mean, you have a wing also helping facilitate immigration pathways, commerce, industry, business, all that, facilitating the relationship between German companies and Ghanaian companies, and then vice versa. How does AHK specifically, here in Ghana, support migration pathways, particularly for skilled workers? I'm a skilled worker in Germany, or I'm a skilled worker here in Ghana, and the plan is to move and work in Germany. How do you facilitate all this?
Well, first of all, the delegation of German industry is part of the German government, so to speak. We are being financed by the Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy. What do? We are here to deepen and to establish Ghanaian-German business relations. Now you might think, what does this have to do with migration? Well, Sivine already mentioned it quite a lot, because there is a huge challenge both in Ghana and in Germany, and that relates to the population. In Germany, we have too old people. In Ghana, you have a lot of growing population and very young people. So, and when it comes to the labor market, that is a challenge. In Germany, actually, we are looking for young talents. In Ghana, you have a lot of young talents, but they are looking for a job. And some of them, or most of them, don't find it. So, here we come into the game and we say, let's create a win-win situation. Let's create a situation where we can support young, motivated Ghanaians to go to Germany to go for a job or even to go for an apprenticeship, to learn, to get trained. And that's where we come into the game and that we can help. First of all, we can definitely find suitable Ghanaian candidates. We select the right ones.
Okay.
Secondly, we are going to find and match these candidates with German companies. Thirdly, we are going to help them attend a German class, as Sivine already mentioned. Fourthly, we can also support with the visa process. We are not processing the visas, of course. That's the embassy, but we can help. We can give them some instruction as what to do in order to, come up with the right application. And lastly, what we do after we're sending them out to Germany, we even, and that's very important, we even have a partner organization in Germany which is supporting and mentoring the young Ghanaians once they have left Ghana and once they came to Germany, because all of a sudden you're coming into a very different environment. You don't know the language, you don't know the food, you don't know anything. So we're trying to help these young Ghanaians, to settle in and to, create some kind of welcome culture. That is actually what we do as a package for young Ghanaians when it comes to migration to Germany.
Perfect. That's very clear. You wanted to add?
I wanted to add one small thing because, the cultural gap sometimes is huge.
Huge, yeah.
And we also at the Goethe Institute have an entity called AMIF that also counsels young Ghanaian pre-departure for their migration.
So they prep you on what to expect.
Exactly.
Things to be, when you go to Germany, certain parts like beer,
You'll be cold.
The weather is gonna beat you up. They prep you mentally so that you know what to expect. But a very important question, AHK, who can walk in? You mentioned that you have a selection process, a criteria to pick who qualifies. What kind of professionals, are you most likely going to, pick in your process to working in Germany? Who is qualified? Who can walk in to your office to make inquiries about these things?
Okay, first of all, there are no walk-ins.
Great.
If there were walk-ins, we would be a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, we always put little adverts on our social media channels, on LinkedIn and Facebook. And once we put out an advert saying we are looking for, let's say, welder or truck driver, within 24 hours, we are receiving thousands of applications. Just imagine they are walking in. They have a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So what we are doing is we announce openings and then we ask our visitors to apply and to apply, of course, online. And then we try to match. But regarding the professions, in Germany they are looking for everybody. So let's say we are looking for construction workers, for roofers, for truck drivers, for IT engineers. We are also and even looking for pool attendants, lifeguards, believe it or not. So there's a broad variety of needs that we try to fill with Ghanaians, and from our experience so far, Ghanaians are really good. They're really good at adapting, and they're really good at, especially when it comes to hands-on, very handy work. They are excellent, and they're much better in many cases than Germans.
Perfect. That sounds good. So it's controlled. For people who are asking how they could just walk in and get it, opportunities are presented as and when. And so, if I'm correct, there may be a period where they're looking for pool attendants, once they advertise and you qualify, you make the cut. And so just to check and be correct, there's a criteria, there's a process to selecting who qualifies after the pool of people applying. And then, so what's the next step after that? When they come through and they are screened and they qualified, what happens next?
You know what? We are looking for 5 requirements.
Okay.
It's not, as you might think, it's not the skill.
Okay.
Because they are going to Germany in order to practice and to gain skills. That's not the point.
Okay.
There are 5 other points, much more important. Number 1, motivation. I have to ask myself, do I want this job? Do I really want to learn and get trained on this particular job? That's a very important motivational factor. Number 2, willingness to adapt. I, as a Ghanaian, I have to be bold enough to leave my comfort zone here in Ghana and to live in a foreign country. And believe me, living in Germany is not easy.
Yeah.
No fufu, no sunshine every day. The music is different, hard work, you have to be on time, all these things. And this might be a little bit tricky, right? Number 3, teamwork.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to work in a team, and you also have to be prepared to learn every day a new thing by your colleagues and by your boss. Number 4, German language, definitely. You have to be ready to learn German and to be ready to learn a foreign language. German is not easy. It's not that difficult, but it's not easy. And you have to start here in Ghana.
Okay.
You have to go to the school and learn and pass the exam, which is B1. And lastly, number 5 that we're looking at, curiosity. You have to be curious. You have to like challenges. You have to want to pursue a career which is both exciting, challenging and rewarding. And if these 5 criteria come together, then we've found the right person.
Perfect. And then so with that, then you facilitate the processes in between. And then obviously when it comes to getting the visa to allow them go, that's when, Sivine and her team also come in.
Exactly.
Perfect. Now, just like I asked Sivine, I'm not sure this process is very smooth. Like you mentioned, I'm not sure it's super seamless. You're dealing with human beings. What are some of the challenges you've personally faced in your entire stay here with your work? And if there's a misconception you want to, debunk, you can do that as well, if there's any.
Thank you very much for this question, because it's very important. There's one thing I would like to emphasize. One misconception is, especially when a young Ghanaian goes to Germany, his or her family thinks, wow, now my son or my daughter, she makes big money. Now she can send over money every month. No, that's not true. Especially not over the first 3 years of the apprenticeship program. You are learning. You get trained. You get money, but the money is enough for surviving. You won't be able to, at least in the first 3 years, you won't be able to support your family. And that is a misconception which we are trying to prevent by talking to the families. We are talking to the parents, to the sisters, to the aunties, to the uncles, saying, please, if your kids are going to Germany, they're really, at the end of the day, they will most certainly make a career. But in the first 3 years, don't expect too much.
That's the apprenticeship process, where you're learning how to. Okay.
And that is a misconception which we are trying to prevent right from the beginning.
So that people don't burden them. I mean, once you land in Berlin, the family is calling. Yao. Ye be about you was also in this Kakabana. Says you could do German send the brand I am fantastica. That's right. Lena understands what I just said. So I mean, that's just by the way, the fact that people overburden their families and their friends once they land. The idea and the misconception is that once you land, the pastures are green, so green that you start picking euros from the floor. I mean, it's not rosy like that. And I love the fact that Dr. Blank mentioned that obviously because you're getting trained in a new space, things are better, and so at some point you start earning good. But the first period is obviously going to be for learning purposes. You are trying to build a career, and so you won't get it all rosy. Now, one thing I'd also want to find out from you, when it comes to doing this in helping build the working force over there, do you also have times where these companies come back and offer these apprenticeship programs to people while they are here? Do you have systems like that?
I mean, what we are doing is we are bringing over the young apprentices to Germany. And from our experience, almost all the host companies are offering them a job afterwards.
Great.
So once you went through this 3 years apprenticeship, you have to pass a test, of course, but it's manageable. But after this, in most cases, there's no problem at all to get a job in Germany.
Okay, now that's in Germany, but I'm saying in Ghana here, are there programs where some of these professionals will come in and start train people here? Is there a system like that?
Yes. So first of all, of course, TVET is well known in Ghana. There's a big footprint of German Development Corporation. So a lot of TVET was supported by German government support. And when it comes to training of young Ghanaians or even businesses in Ghana, we also have a program called the Senior Expert Service. So seasoned experts from various different fields, usually also all kinds of practical hands-on jobs. They often come to Ghana, and you can also specifically request that an SES expert, Senior Expert Service person comes to your business to also train and educate some of the younger people to make sure that they have the skills that they need. For example, let's say a kind of printing company has some kind of struggles to maintain the equipment that they have, to repair that, and especially if that could be, in this case, equipment, machines from Germany, then in this case you can request for this kind of expert, and he would come for a certain time to Ghana and help, and then he would go back.
Perfect. Dr. Blank has something to add.
I'm glad Sivine mentioned the Senior Expert Service, because that is exactly the organization we are working with together in Germany in order to give a mentorship to the young Ghanaians, because they take care of these young Ghanaians and help them to find their way through the German jungle, so to speak. Perfect.
Before I move to Lena, who's going to give me words on the academic side of it, Sivine, let me come back to you. I know it's a challenge you definitely face, okay, with a space and a department like AHK, helping people migrate the right way through work and apprenticeship. How are you addressing the challenge of having people come in to apply for certain classes of visas, and then when they get there, they try to do what they could have done here or they should have done here? People misrepresenting what they are supposed to do with. Because I know obviously somebody will come in thinking or making it look like he's going to visit and come. Then they go in starting to look for jobs. How do you link the help this department is doing here to solving that issue? When people come to apply, do you sometimes after you engage them refer them to AHK? Does it happen?
Certainly, yes. We do get a lot of questions through different channels. Actually, the best forum also to get in touch with the embassy is through the contact form on the website. And if we realize that this question is not entirely visa process related, then we would refer them to AHK. Or if we see that it's more on the scholarships academic side, we would refer them to DAAD. The same also happens on our social media channels, that when we get these kinds of messages that we would say, kindly check out the website of this and that German organization or go there. Also one website that I would like to name is Make It in Germany. That's also one of the websites where you can really inform yourself about migration pathways when it comes to career, really work-related questions.
Perfect. So we've talked about AHK, the apprenticeship, the work route. Let's come to academics, education, studying in Germany. I mean, if you want to advance your education in the beautiful country of Germany, how do you go about it? And so Lena Leumer is with that side. She's the head of German Academic Exchange Services right here in Ghana. And I just want to find out from you also. I think Sivine mentioned the tip for us, but go deeper. How does DAAD, support migration pathways for students and researchers? How do you do it?
Yeah, so basically we offer consultations for everybody who wants to study or do research in Germany, and then we support them every step of the way. Starting from questions surrounding application for university, admission requirements, potential for scholarships. We also do offer scholarships, but we also generally offer consultations on everything related to how to get there, how to find the right institution, and then also how to find your way there. We prepare them in specific pre-departure sessions on how to go about. Then also we do support the visa application, because we specifically know that the type of challenges that students experience, I think it really shows also in the applications. From our experience, most students that have gone through us have no problem securing the visa. Because, and that's also, I think it's relevant to mention that there is a difference between the German and the Ghanaian system that really shows when it comes to visa, because Germany is very bureaucratic. If, for example, in Ghana, you don't have your birth certificate anymore, or you don't have your passport yet, and you go somewhere and maybe you don't want to return to your home, your birth city, a city where you were born, and then somebody tells you, oh, you can just go here and get a birth certificate from Accra. Maybe the name is a bit different, it doesn't matter, but if you go with this to the German embassy, it's considered you're trying to defraud, because you don't have the correct documents and you're just producing something not the right way to go. So that's one thing we know, and I'm not blaming anyone about this. I know that in Ghana that's how it works sometimes, and you wouldn't have a problem. So that's another thing. And I think also one thing I wanted to mention, you were asking about misconceptions, is you don't have to know anyone to get in. As for Germany, the rule is the same for everybody. When you go to Germany, you will see a minister riding a bicycle, stuck in traffic,
in the train,
the red lights, with their cars. So there is no, it doesn't matter who you know. if you don't follow the rules, you'll not get in.
You'll
You
not
might
get
even
in.
be a VC. If you don't hand in the proper documentation,
You will
it
not.
will be difficult for you to get your visa. That's one thing I
Perfect.
wanted to mention. Even if you know me personally, I will not,
The
it will
paper is
not
the
do
paper.
anything for you unless your paper is correct.
That's true. Thank you so much for that good introduction. So just like I asked Dr. Blank, so Dr. Blank's department works with not appointment per se, but then on project basis, and so you can't walk in. They need to advertise that there's an opportunity for apprenticeship in a specific field. How does it work at your department? Is it open? Can anyone just walk in and say, I want to study in Germany, so I'm here, talk to me?
Yeah, I also prefer not to, because again, that would be difficult. We do offer individual consultations that you can book on our website.
Perfect.
The website is www.daad-ghana.org.
Okay.
So you can also just Google DAAD Ghana. You will also find us. And so the website gives you a good rough idea of the type of fundings that are there,
available.
how to go about finding the right study placement and additional testimonials and everything. But also you can join any of our information sessions. There's an introductory session every month. The next one coming up in November, 5th of November. You can just sign up. It's virtual or in person. So for that specific session, you can come in and listen, or you can, if let's say you are in Tamale or you are in Kuvejua, you can just sign up and join on your phone and also get all the basic information. And when you go from there, and I advise that to listen to the general information first, from there on, you can book individual consultation. If you're a young person just graduating, you can even join with your family, and then we give you information also in person or virtually. So any information you need, we're happy to give you one-on-one consultation. Our service is free of charge, open for everybody.
Perfect. Now, for people who are, very keen on advancing the education in Germany, they are considering now. For us who don't really know a lot about German universities and institutions, education institutions, what sets them apart from other universities and education systems around the world? What is special? I hear the German education system, especially when I'm reading the TVET, the TVET, LPMs. They all say it's German structured. What does it come with?
Yeah. I mean, I think generally German study programs are high quality and huge diversity. You have all types of subjects. We also have a lot of different types of institutions. In Germany, we have universities, and we, like in Ghana, have technical universities. Especially technical universities have very strong linkages to industry. So very often you can even do a dual study program where you study at the same time you're already doing apprenticeship with the company, also really helping you to get into the career to kickstart without any delay. Then also one thing that is a common misconception, you do not have to speak German to study in Germany.
Really?
You can study in English language. So many study programs are now offered in English language, especially starting from master's level. Otherwise, how would we attract thousands of students from India, from China, from Nigeria, from everywhere? They come to study in English language. Nobody has the time to go up to like B2 or even
But
C1.
if you want to...
You can study in German if you're keen, but I know most Ghanaians are not. So
You
German
should see how
language.
my people are relaxed now. They were all standing on their toes waiting. But as soon as you said you don't need, yes, you can. As soon as you said you don't need to know or speak German to study in Germany, you're like, oh, yeah, here we go.
I know what you want to add. You do have to have basic level, A1 level to get your...
Sivine, is that what you wanted to say?
That's not
Okay,
what I wanted to make the smiles a little bit bigger. Because comparing German universities to other universities in the world, there are technically no study fees.
Yes,
Wait, what?
that
Is
would be
tuition
next on
fee?
my list. Yeah, sorry, I took
Like
that away from you.
no tuition fees?
Yes, so that's the specific thing about Germany is that nearly all state-funded universities do not have tuition fees. So you do pay a small semester fee, which is basically to get your administration fee, to like support your food that you buy in the canteen and all these things. But you do not pay tuition fees. Like if you compare it to the US or to UK, you are very good. So that's also, we offer scholarship opportunities, but even to go self-funded, if you have a sponsor, it's really not that unattainable to go to Germany and pay. Yeah.
Wow. Lena and Sivine and Dr. Bla, please look at the faces here. Exempt them from anything because I need them. Exempt them from anything. Because next week they might all not come to work. Knowing this, please, these faces, exempt them, all of them. Dr. Blank.
Okay, talking about a big smile on the face.
Today we love smiles.
Yes, it is a very, very, very big advantage of the German academic system. If you go, let's say, if you choose the pathway of getting trained, you get money for it. Unlike in Ghana. In Ghana, you have to pay if you find someone who is training you. In Germany, you get money. So they pay you. And that is also one thing which needs to be considered whenever you think about, pathways to Germany.
Wow. Yes, Lena.
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to add, because you were asking already about visa types. And there's one thing, because we're now already having a sort of general discussion.
Yeah.
Be wise.
Okay.
Do not just go book a holiday visa as like
and then walk in here.
JAKPA and just go away. And then maybe do something silly and apply for, let's say, asylum. We all know Ghana is a very safe country.
Yeah.
You don't need really asylum. So the thing is, from my point of view, some people also get bad counsel. Let's say they get bad advice. Somebody is telling them to go.
Do it.
The opportunities are there. The pathways are there. Yes, they are regulated, so that makes it a little bit tricky to access. But they are there. They are accessible. And I think if you just go and you don't have the proper status and you want to, you also can't change the status of your visa very easily. So it's good to decide before, what do I have to offer? How do I go about it? And then you enter into it in the proper path, I think. And that's what we're here for today.
Perfect. That's very clear. Be very wise and clear on the type of visas you may want to have based on your intention. If you want to study, there's a department, there's a process to go through. If you perhaps want to work, there's also a process to go through. As they mentioned, it's laid down procedure. It might sound tedious, it might sound stressful, but then you save yourself the stress now so that you don't find yourself in there wanting. A lot of people have had that. We've had so many cases about people, now they get there and then things are really messed up. I'm still on you, Lena. We mentioned studying abroad and all that. For researchers, people who are listening, who are research workers, what opportunities exist for, international academics? I know Germany has a vast, system that has, knowledge-based, initiatives to empower people. A lot of us grew up watching North Huff and all these shows. I watched DWT. What's the name? Not DW. DWTV. Yes. Euromax and all these ones. And so I know things that exist when it comes to that. What are some of the opportunities available for, research workers and researchers?
Yes, I mean, apart from scholarships for PhDs, like people who want to conduct PhD research, there's a full PhD scholarships, for example. There's also for researchers who are already active in Ghana that are postdoc, that already have their PhDs. There are short research stays that they can fund research in any field at any German host institution for short term, up to 6 months. So that one I really recommend to get in touch with us, go to our website and find out more. The tricky part is always to find your first contact into the German system from our experience. But even there, we have a large network of alumni that we're happy to connect people with. And there's really, especially for postdoctoral research, we do not even receive so many applications. So we're happy to receive more.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to have to ask a few questions from my listeners. They are buzzing the line. Bernard from Nungwa. Good morning to you, Bernard, for tuning in. Thank you. Bernard says, good morning and thank you for the information you're putting out. Interesting conversation. I'm interested in learning about opportunities for volunteering in Germany, please. In areas that support cultural integration and social contribution before training, are there chances now? I think we mentioned apprenticeship, working, the studies. Is there any system like that for people who would like to volunteer? And which department does this lie with if somebody's interested?
Yeah, so we have a lot of German volunteers coming to Ghana. So at the moment we have 100 plus volunteers. And that is through the program Weltwärts, which means somehow towards the world, helping people around the age of 18 to go abroad. But this program we also have in the other direction.
Okay.
So also from, let's say, the global south towards Germany, and that would also be the program where you can find your first information.
Let me ask this question too. It's come up. Frida says, good morning, Rev. This is to Sivine. It says, for Ghanaians already in Germany, what kind of support systems or embassy programs are in place to help integrate them to succeed? I don't really get the context in this. Is it people who traveled on, if you can get the question right, but for instance, if somebody traveled with, let's say, a tourist visa and has overstayed or has found themselves in a space where they can't return, not can't return as in they won't return, but then while they are there, are there opportunities if they ever have a change in mind? Is there a system to support them to get into the apprenticeship program, or perhaps a system to help them, get into the education field or the academic field? Are there possibilities like that?
That's a lot of questions in one. So if you need any type of counseling inside Germany, then I would, if you have come with some kind of institution, I would always recommend to talk to that institution. So for example, AHK or DAAD or the TVET program that you came with. So if you need some kind of, or the university that you're studying at, so that would be your first point of contact in Germany. If you have, for whatever reason, overstayed your visa, it is not possible that this visa can be extended in Germany, because the entity that issues the visas is only the German embassy for foreign nationals who reside in Ghana. Usually that would be Ghanaians, but could also be somebody from Gabon who has his residence in Ghana, for example. So from here, we cannot extend a visa. So if this happens for whatever reason, make sure that you actually travel back as early as possible, and then show up at the embassy and explain your situation. Let's say it was some kind of medical emergency that happened. Then explain this to the embassy to make sure that they are aware of the reason why you've overstayed your visa, so they know that, okay, this was not a bad intent. This was life that happened for whatever reason. Because if you overstay your visa, of course, we have you a little bit in our black books, so to say. So ideally explain it so you get out of that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This question is for all of us. It says, how do people identify genuine migration and recruitment agencies? And it was one of the questions I was going to ask. So there's the AHK, which is officially the designated department in charge of that. Are there agencies who are also permitted to run similar stuff in recruitment, for job opportunities, all that, specifically with Germany?
The private sector, there's definitely a few companies in the private sector that are looking for people that they can train and bring to the job, and then they migrate to Germany or other places. So there are a few of that. I'm a little bit hesitant to now drop some names because I don't know all of them, and that would give them an unfair advantage. But I would just say, just do your research. There's definitely also a bunch of private companies that offer these kinds of opportunities.
If someone has this opportunity or hears of one, is it possible? I know you're going to tell me to reach out to the email. Is it possible to check with embassy to see if the person is dealing with an institution that perhaps has the right, accreditation?
That's a very good point. Yes, that would be ideal to send something through our contact form, or maybe also to HK, to ask if this is a company that is legit. Okay.
Before I come to you, Dr. Blank, Lena wanted to add something?
Yeah, maybe when it comes to the academic space, you don't need it.
Okay.
You do not need any agent. We are there. We are your agent. We are for free. So don't use any for pay.
Lena says come to them.
Yes, please. We are there for
you.
Her
doors are open.
Yes.
Lena says come. Don't go to anybody.
Book the appointment, but then come. Really, you do not need it. Because, and then at the same time, sometimes they will promise you something that is unattainable. We will, if, for example, your grades are really too bad to get a scholarship, you can still apply to go for a self-funded study program. We will tell you straight to your face. So not likely you get a scholarship, but try to find your own funding. These people will literally tell you that we guarantee you get your visa for XYZ. We will guarantee you this and that. Nobody can guarantee you anything. You really need to put in the work yourself. And I think that is what we're also going to tell you for free, straight to your face.
Yes, thank you very much. I think I've really learned a lot. Final question I have, I think, would be for all of us. We can all answer with updates that we have. Are there any recent updates, changes in visa processes for perhaps everybody, workers, students in particular? Are there new things that Sivine would want to share with us from the embassy?
Two things. First one is, I already mentioned the German school, and they have asked me to also relay to your listeners today that on 31st October is the deadline to apply for the Excellent Scholarship Program. So if you have kids between the age of 9 and 12 and you are interested to bring them into the German education system, that could be a very interesting opportunity for you. 83% discount on the annual fees if you get the scholarship.
Perfect.
Number two, the visa processes, what has changed. We did change the application process for students a little bit because we had such an enormous number of applications, really in the high 4-digit numbers, because a lot of people booked tried to book appointments, but they didn't have the necessary documentation, or it was not even very well-founded application. It was just to try and see what happens, but only a very limited amount of what needs to be done was there. So we have restructured that whole process, that first we need the documents and then you get an appointment. So we are working to get down on the waiting times at the moment, to really make that a lot smoother in the future. So bear with us, we have a little bit of waiting time and we have changed the process, but only to improve our services in that space.
I love that. Only to improve the services, of course, serving you. Lena, any updates?
Yeah, that's kind of, I'm supporting one of our partners with that. So the DAAD also supports the University of Education in Winneba for their German language unit. So there is a new study program. It's German language education as a first area. So they are currently in the process of recruiting. It's going to be the second round of students who are even going to study this. There's a DAAD-funded German lecturer who is there and running the program or supporting the program, supporting the unit. And she also told me that it will be very good if they have more applicants, because obviously we also need more German teachers if we want to support the German language in Ghana. And then maybe from our own side, just go to our socials and follow us, because every event we have, we put it out there. Don't miss out on any calls. Don't miss out on any events. We are on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and just join us there.
Perfect. And so I'd also want to put in, before Dr. Blanc adds his final words, the website Sivine keeps mentioning is accra.diplo.de.
Yes, please.
Accra.diplo.de. That is the German Embassy official website. Every information. So I'm seeing visa information section. There's a Schengen visa. There's address and opening hours, consular legal section, visa for family reunion, like she mentioned, and then other ones. Please, now it's very accessible. You can just log onto your phone and get every information you need. By chance, your questions are not answered there. There are phone lines to call the 0302 211-000. Just call the line and then get any information you need. Dr. Blanc, anything you'd like to add?
Well, any updates? Obviously, our program is ongoing. So we are publishing new calls for application every month. The next one will most probably be for truck drivers. That will come up in a couple of days. Other than that, next year, I know it's still a little bit ahead of us, but next year in November, we are having a big event here in Ghana. It's called the German African Business Summit. And on this occasion, we will also focus particularly on the topic of migration, on skilled workers to Germany. And that might also be a nice way to, get together and gain some more important information.
That's perfect. That's beautiful. Now, the next thing I think everyone is asking is, when are we going to Germany? And so start making plans now if you're listening. Go to the website, apply early if it's education you want. Lena and her team are ready on standby for you. If you want to be an apprentice, if you want to, work, Dr. Blanc is for you. And any other thing relating to visas, you go to Sivine's office, the embassy, and they will definitely facilitate that for you. We're also looking forward to following you to Germany one time, The team, let's YFM go, and then, let's show people the corners in Germany. Let's see all the corners and can tell them the new things we discover. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. For my listeners, we just had a beautiful conversation on migration pathways to Germany with the Deputy German Ambassador to Ghana, Sivine Jansen. We also spoke to Head Delegation, German Industry and Commerce in Ghana, AHK, Dr. Michael Blanc, and of course, Head of German Academic Exchange Services, DAAD Regional Office, Lena Leumer. So, thank you guys so much. Any final words? Anybody you'd like to say hi to?
Hi to my family and everyone. And also what Lena mentioned, find us on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And there's a lot of information, including FAQs, available for everybody who has questions.
Perfect. Dr. Blanc.
Hi to my entire team here in Ghana, of which I'm very proud of.
Perfect.
Same, obviously.
So Lena's going to request for a song on your behalf. Who are we playing?
Anything by Kofi Kinata.
Anything by
For my
Kofi.
husband.
Hey. Beautiful guys, 31 past 12, Y107.9 FM. There's going to be a video of all we discussed on our YouTube and our socials by close of the day. So make sure you get on there and watch it. If if you want to check all the answers we gave for the questions, please feel free. But then beyond that, the website is there. Go ask all the questions you need to ask, and then you can get the right information. But trust us to give you the information when it comes to anything the embassy is up to from today. We'll definitely be supporting with our space to make sure the right things are done. But Erskine, thank you so much for staying with us on the Mid-Morning Radio Show. Before I go,
this is YFM.